Welcome to the instructional part of the video. You can get tabs and backing tracks to practice along to if you go to my website, www.erichaugenguitar.com. Let me talk a little bit about the tools I'm using to make the sounds I'm making today. This is my beloved 1966 Fender Mustang, Tom Brantley custom pickups. I'm in the neck pickup. I'm using my pedal board going into my Strymon Deco for some crunchy crunch, my Strymon Flint for some reverb, borrowing my friend Chris at Dusky Amplifications D2O amplifier, mic'd up with a Rode Active Ribbon mic, an NTR Active Ribbon mic. That's what you're hearing. Now, let's learn how to do this stuff. The main progression of the song is G, B minor, C. Now let's talk a little bit more specifically about how Jeff Tweedy does this opening. I recommend doing your G the kind of more old-timey bluegrass way, using fingers 2, 3, and 4. And Jeff does a neat thing in the intro. There's a little walk right there, a little bit of dissonance, so it goes. That's a little F sharp down there. And when he does his B minor, which is, I'm flat across all the 2s, ring finger on the 4 of the D, pinky on the 4 of the G, and middle finger on the 3 there of the B, he has him flat across there. And then, when he gets to his C, he does this great C chord, if you don't know, the C over G. It's a C. Go ahead and take that ring finger, stick him on the low E on the 3rd fret, sneak pinky now back to where he was. Now you get to hit all 6. That's a great C chord. If you find yourself accidentally always hitting that low E on your C and not enjoying that extra lowness, just go ahead and do that. It's a really thick C. So that comes through like. Then he does a little, it's not quite a Neil Young hammer-on. Neil Young would have just taken it from 0, which you could do too. But it's actually, he sneaks that pointer finger back on the 1st fret there of my D string, hammering onto the 2nd fret. That's the flat 3rd of the C chord to the major 3rd. All together. By the way, don't be afraid of the zeros when you're changing chords. It's kind of part of the sound of this song, and actually, if you slow down a lot of guitar strumming, those zeros enter in. Because the rhythm is the key that keeps going no matter what, so it actually doesn't matter too much what happens there. So this lesson, all right, well, we'll get into the verse here. What I was thinking was, I want to make a lesson that uses a lot of 6ths because they're a cool interval and there's a little bit of question about what they are. A 6th, the way I refer to it, is just the distance between 2 legs of the major scale. So let's go, we'll go back a few steps. G major. That's starting on my G string. 0, 2, 0, 1, 3, 0, 2, 3. Beautiful. There it is. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Now, I'm going to go ahead and harmonize it a 6th below. Here we go. That's what I was thinking. That's why I was like, I need to do an arrangement that uses that idea. So let's look. 0 on the G. 2 on the A gives us the 1st pair. That's a 6th apart. 2 on the G connects with 3 on the A. There's that 6th. 0 on the B is a 6th away from 0 on the D. There's that one. 1 on the B connects with 2 on the D, 3 on the B connects with 4 on the D, 0 on the high E is tied to 0 on the G, 2 on the high E connects to 2 on the G, and finally connects to 4 there. There it is. That was the first thing I was thinking, because those are really useful if you're playing around down low for doing little tasteful fills that aren't necessarily your typical bluegrassy or whatever kind of fill. So let's look at what I did there. I, as best I could, took the melody. All right, I'm hybrid picking to get that. Rotate to observe. 2 on the A. Here comes some zeros on the D and the B. Notice those are sixths. And notice how I did that there. So that's how I'm doing a lot of this, using pointer finger and then my favorite finger, the middle finger. So let's see. She's a jar, a heavy lid, my pop quiz kid. There we are at the 1 and the 2 there on the B and the D. Comes off a sleepy kisser, the feelings hid. And then I kind of abandoned the sixths. So hard to say. Just kind of got, as best I could, Jeff Tweedy's vocal melody. On this one he does talk sing a bit, but you know, I would never criticize his style. I like his style a lot. It just works with this song, really. So that last part, you know she begs me not to miss her. That's all that is down there on the 2s and 3s of the A. And then Jay Bennett, rest in peace, Jay. He comes in with his keyboard part. Maybe it's Mellotron. Who knows? There's a lot of great keyboards on there. So I vaguely cop it. Now I'm thinking of that same concept of parallel sixes going up my major scale, this time here. There's my G major scale. 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. Harmonized. Now I'm at 3 and 4, 5 and 5, 7 and 7, 9 and 8. Was that 11 and 12, 12 and 12, 14 and 14, and 16, 15. There's my scale. Now I have 2 octaves of a harmonized major scale. Pretty. So we're at that interlude part now. 7 and 7. 4, 3, 2. That's the B minor chord. A lonely 5. 0 and 0 there on the G and the high E for that C chord, and then falling down. That's 8 and 9, 7 and 7, 5 and 5, does it again. 7, B minor, lonely 5, there's my C chord. And then I really abandoned this to get the vague arrangement of that really cool chorus. It's a really slick progression. So we got a G. Climb a minor board. So that was just, you know, that melody's up there on the G string. A minor, I'm just really just doing 0 and 2. And then 2-0, that's the D chord. And then, so rare that a band uses diminished chords. Those are the best. Well, I got to do a lesson on diminished chords. They're just these magical little transition chords. Here we are at 1, 2, 1, starting on the D string there. And diminished chords have a trick. They can always go up 3 frets. 4, 5, 4. E minor chord. 7 on the low 1. 5, 5, 5. That's on my D with that open G ringing out. 7, 7, 5. 5 on that A now with that open D. Kind of, you know, bring in the zeros if you can. That's the B minor chord right there. That is 7, 5, 4. He does a passing B flat major. That is 6, 5, 3, starting on that low E. Back to his A minor. Here's that open G. And then a little 2, 0, 3. And then another, here's that D again. That's just part of a D. You could do the whole thing if you wanted to. And then the people underneath. There's that diminished again, which is just 1, 0, 1, 0, and then land with 1, 2, 1. So that whole little chorus there. Diminished. E minor. Diminished. That is just a masterful chord progression. All right, and then the song flips back around to that main chord progression of G, B minor, and C, and then Jeff comes in with a harmonica, which I kind of did a little bit with sixths. So I grab that low 3, that G, and there's my 4 and my 3 on my G and my high E. Now look at that, a sixth. No, there's another one, because there's a B minor chord at that point, and so I got 3 on the B, 4 on the D, sneak in on this G string with a little 4-0, and then I come back in on the C chord. He's got the C, and so yeah, I got the rooters of the C, and I got on my G string a 2 hammers to 4. There's the main thing. Or I could hybrid pick it. Comes around again. A little bit different this time, comes out of it. That's just one of my Eric favorite chords. I'm on a C. Here's another C. You know, at my 8th fret, I could build a C major 7 off of that 10th fret. That's a C. That's a G. That's a B, that's the major 7. I use that chord all the time. It's so glassy. And it comes around again. And one last time. And then I did a little, oh, the song's ending, or Eric's little demo is ending. I did a harmonized walk-up again, so I started. Could have just done that, but that's not the point. 1 and 2, starting on my B and my D. 3 and 4, 0 and 0, 2 and 2. Yeah, so there you have it. This is just a workout of some of the possibilities down low of your parallel sixths, and also up high. And then, you know, for context, I just use that cool Wilco song because it's very good. Well, I hope you like that one. There's certainly some good ideas in there for sneaking in some sixths to your playing. Take your time with it and have fun with it, most importantly, and I hope to see you next time.